Listen. Listen to the silence beneath the noise. You stand at a precipice, not of stone and earth, but of your own becoming. The wind you feel is not from a mountain pass, but from the chasm between the person you are and the person you are capable of being. Look down. What do you see? Not an abyss of failure, but a battlefield. A hidden, ancient, and eternal battlefield. Its trenches are not dug by shovels, but by doubt. Its fortifications are not built of timber, but of distraction. The enemy banners that fly are stitched with the threads of fear, comfort, procrastination, and the endless whispering chatter of a mind untrained. For centuries, we have told stories of the Spartan warrior. We speak of his bronze shield, his scarlet cloak, his spear that shone under a Grecian sun. We marvel at the physical endurance, the legendary toughness that allowed 300 to stand against a tide. But in our awe of the spectacle, we have missed the true source of his power. We have admired the sword, but forgotten the smithy. The true weapon, the unbreakable, immortal weapon, was not in his hand. It was behind his eyes. It was the mind. A mind not born, but forged, not in the casual fires of talent, but in the deliberate, relentless furnace of philosophy and code. It was tempered not only by the clash of battle, but by the daily silent war against weakness within. This is not a lesson in ancient history. This is a transmission. This is a blueprint drawn in the ink of timeless truth for the modern mental warrior. You live in a world meticulously engineered to seduce your attention, to cushion your every discomfort, to train you for constant, frantic reaction. It is a world that sells you distraction and calls it connection, that sells you comfort and calls it happiness, that sells you opinion and calls it wisdom. In such a world, how do you construct a mind that remains disciplined amidst chaos? How do you cultivate focus in a marketplace of screaming distractions? How do you forge emotional control when every algorithm is designed to provoke your passions? The answer lies not in a new hack, a new pill, a new 10-step trend. The answer lies in a return to the codes, the non-negotiable iron principles that transformed ordinary men into the unyielding wall of a phalanx. These were not suggestions, they were the operating system for a resilient soul. Today, we journey deep into 10 of these codes, 10 Spartan codes of mental resilience. Consider this not entertainment, but your first drill, your initiation. Your mind is the phalanx you will lead through the battles of your life. It is time to lock shields. It is time to become unbreakable. Introduction and philosophical foundation. To truly grasp the Spartan, you must first sit with the Stoic. They are not separate. They are the two hands that clench the same sword. Sparta was the body in relentless motion, the discipline of the deed. Stoicism was the mind in perfect stillness, the discipline of the thought. But from their disparate paths, they arrived at the same crucial crossroads and asked the single most important question you will ever confront. What is within your control? Picture the Spartan warrior on the eve of battle. He cannot control the countless thousands massing across the plain. He cannot control the coming dawn, which may bring a storm to blind him. He cannot control the aim of every arrow that will darken the sky. To fret over these things is to drain his strength before a single blow is struck. So what does he control? He controls the sharpness of his spear. He controls the fit of his armor. He controls the depth of his breath, the steadiness of his gaze, the resolve in his heart to hold the line, to protect the man to his left. He reduces the infinite chaos of war to a few simple, manageable tasks within his sphere of command. This is the bedrock, the dichotomy of control. This is the first and last lesson. Your perceptions, your judgments, your choices, your actions, your character. This is your sovereign territory. This is the inner citadel. Everything else, the opinions of others, the past, the future, the weather, the traffic, the stock market, the whims of fortune, all of this exists outside the walls. It is external. To spend your vital energy, your precious mental and emotional reserves, railing against these externals, trying to besiege and conquer what was never yours to command, is the definition of foolishness. It is the source of all anxiety, all frustration, all despair. Resilience is born the moment you stop trying to control the storm and begin the work of fortifying your own shelter. The storm will come. Your shelter is your responsibility. The 10 Codes. Code 1. The Shield of Perception. Before a single physical weapon is raised, the first and most important battle is fought in the field of perception. An untrained mind does not see an event, it sees its own fear, its own pride, its own anxiety projected onto that event. The Spartan scout returns, breathless. A weak mind reports, "We are doomed, a sea of enemies approaches." The disciplined mind strips the judgment and reports only the fact. The enemy is numerous, they advance from the west. One statement creates panic, the other creates a problem to be solved. Your life is not made of events, but of your judgments about those events. My career is over is a judgment. I lost my job is a fact. This pain is unbearable is a judgment. I feel a sharp pain in my side is a fact. Your challenge for this code, for the next 24 hours, become an anthropologist of your own mind. When a stressful thought arises, catch it, write it down, then ruthlessly translate it into a single, neutral, objective sentence. Remove the editorial, remove the prophecy, see only what is. Code 2. The discipline of action, not words. In an age of personal branding and performative declarations, this code is a corrective blast of icy water. The Spartans were laconic for a reason. Speech was valuable. It was to be used sparingly, with precision, for maximum impact. Boasting before a battle was not confidence, it was wasted energy and a debt you may not be able to repay. The oath was simple: return with your shield or on it. No speeches, no grand promises to the gods, just a commitment to an action and its ultimate consequence. Resilience is not built in the talking, the planning, the vision boarding. It is built in the silent, daily, uncelebrated doing. It is the gym session completed when no one is watching. It is the difficult page written when inspiration is absent. It is choosing the salad when you crave the fries, not because you told the world you would, but because you made a private covenant with yourself. Let your actions be so loud that the world renders your words unnecessary. Your challenge: identify the one thing you have talked about, planned for, or complained about the most. This week, execute the first concrete, physical step towards it and tell no one. Let the action exist for its own sake. Code 3. The embrace of the obstacle. We are conditioned to see obstacles as errors in the plan, as nuisances, as signs that the universe is against us. The Spartan, through the brutal curriculum of the agoge, was taught the profound secret: the obstacle is not in the way, the obstacle is the way. Hunger was not an accident, it was a drill to teach you to function while hungry. The cold was not a misfortune, it was a lesson in withstanding discomfort. Rivalry was not a personal grievance, it was a whetstone to sharpen your edge. Every difficulty was reframed from a problem to be avoided into the very training you needed. Your modern application is this: That difficult client is not a roadblock to your success. He is your personal trainer for patience and diplomacy. That financial setback is not a tragedy. It is a forced drill in resourcefulness and frugality. That period of loneliness is not an abandonment. It is the necessary wilderness to forge a deeper relationship with yourself. Your challenge: take your most significant current obstacle, write it down, then complete this sentence. This obstacle is my special training drill to develop the specific mental muscle of. Now engage with it not as a victim, but as a trainee. Code 4. The clarity of purpose. Discipline for its own sake is a form of self-torture. Endurance without a why is mere suffering. The Spartans' entire existence was oriented toward a single, unifying purpose: the survival, honor, and excellence of Sparta. This why was so powerful, so deeply ingrained, that it made any hardship meaningful. Sleeping on the hard ground was not pointless, it was for Sparta. Facing certain death was not futile, it was for Sparta. Your Sparta is your deepest non-negotiable value. It is your family's well-being. It is the mastery of your craft. It is your physical and mental integrity. It is contributing something of value to the world. When your purpose is crystalline, hardship transforms. It is no longer meaningless pain. It becomes a sacrifice you willingly make on the altar of what you hold most dear. The tiredness from working late becomes the fuel for your family's future. The frustration of practice becomes the price of mastery. Your challenge: find a quiet moment. Ask yourself, if everything else was stripped away, what is the one thing I am building, protecting, or becoming? Write that purpose in one unequivocal sentence. Place it where you will see it first thing in the morning. Code 5. The cultivation of stillness. We confuse resilience with constant tension, with a mind perpetually at war. But the most formidable warrior is not the one who is always flailing, always reacting. It is the one who possesses a deep inner reservoir of calm. Imagine the phalanx in the final moments before the collision. There is no shouting, no chaos. There is a collective, terrifying stillness, a deep breath held, a focus so absolute it becomes a force of its own. This is hesychia, tranquility, inner quietude. It is from this stillness that the clearest commands arise, that precision is possible, that fear is observed but not obeyed. Your modern world attacks this stillness relentlessly. Your practice must be to reclaim it. Your challenge: for the next 7 days, commit to 5 minutes of absolute stillness upon waking. Sit, set a timer, close your eyes, focus only on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, and it will 1,000 times, gently return it to the breath. You are not meditating to achieve bliss. You are drilling your mind to return to its command post under any conditions. Code 6. The denial of comfort. Comfort is the quiet killer of potential. The Spartan knew this intuitively. The famous black broth, the coarse tunics, the deliberate absence of luxury, these were not badges of austerity. They were vaccines. By regularly, voluntarily injecting a small dose of discomfort, they made themselves immune to the weakness that soft living breeds. They proved to themselves daily that their spirit was master of their flesh. Your mission is to inoculate yourself. This is not about masochism, it is about sovereignty. Take a cold shower, not because you enjoy it, but to prove you can choose it. Skip a meal, not to punish yourself, but to remember that hunger is a sensation, not an emergency. Wake up an hour earlier, not because you have to, but because you can. Each small denial is a vote for your inner authority. Your challenge: this week, choose one voluntary hardship. Make it small, but make it meaningful. The 5 a.m. wake-up, the 48-hour social media fast, the walk in the cold rain. Complete it. Feel the subtle, powerful shift. You are no longer a passenger to your desires. You are the pilot. Code 7. The Bond of the Phranglax. No Spartan stood alone. His strength was multiplied by the man to his left and the man to his right. His shield was not for his own protection, it was for the brother beside him. His ultimate failure was not his own death, but the breach in the line his death might cause. This is a radical truth. Resilience is a collective project. We are not meant to forge our character in isolation. Your mind's phalanx is your trusted circle, the friend who speaks the hard truth, the mentor who holds a higher standard, the partner who shares the burden without flinching. Find them, be ruthless in choosing them, then lock shields. Share your codes. Give them permission to call you out when you soften, when you complain, when you make excuses. Your vulnerability within this trusted circle becomes your greatest strength. Your challenge: reach out to one person you respect. Share this video with them. Say, I am working on building mental resilience. I am choosing code blank to start. Will you be my accountability partner? Can I check in with you on this? You are not asking for therapy. You are asking for a brother in arms. Code 8. The acceptance of finality. The Spartan lived with memento mori, the remembrance of death, not as a morbid obsession, but as the ultimate focusing agent. A mother handing her son his shield said, "With it or on it." Death was not hidden away, it was present, vivid, and it gave life its sharpest edge. Knowing the play has a final act forces you to consider the quality of each scene. How much of what you worry about, fear, or procrastinate on would persist if you held the fact of your inevitable end clearly in mind? The trivial anxieties, the social embarrassments, the petty grievances, they melt away like mist in a sudden, sobering sun. This practice does not make you reckless, it makes you urgent, it makes you selective. It forces you to ask, is this worry worthy of my limited, precious, and fleeting attention? Your challenge: each morning this week, as you state your purpose from Code 4, add this: and I will remember that my time is finite. I will not spend it on that which does not serve my purpose or my peace. Code 9. The economy of thought. Your mental energy is the most precious fuel you possess. The undisciplined mind is like a city with its gates thrown open, allowing any rogue thought, any memory of past defeat, any fantasy of future disaster to wander in, loot, and burn your peace. The Spartan mind was a fortified camp, guarded, selective, laconic in its internal dialogue as much as its external speech. You must become the stern gatekeeper of your own mind. When you find yourself in a spiral of rumination, replaying an argument, catastrophizing a possibility, you must have a practiced immediate response. It is a single internal command: halt. Then redirect. Issue a new, simple, present-moment order to yourself. Focus on your breathing. Read the next sentence. Feel your feet on the ground. You are not trying to empty the mind. You are training it to obey a change of station. Your challenge: for one full day, carry a small notepad. Each time you catch yourself in unproductive mental chatter, make a tally. Just the act of noticing and recording begins to assert your command. Code 10. The legacy of the example. The final code transcends the self. Leonidas and his 300 did not merely die at Thermopylae, they chose how to die. They crafted a story, an example of sacrifice and resolve so potent that it echoes thousands of years later, in this very moment, inspiring you. Your resilience is not a private project. You are a living example. Your children watch how you handle stress. Your colleagues see how you face failure. Your friends feel the energy you give off in a crisis. Every time you choose calm over chaos, integrity over convenience, courage over comfort, you are not just winning a private battle, you are planting a flag. You are sending a signal to everyone around you. This is how it is done. This is what strength looks like. You become a living monument to the possibility of a disciplined mind. Your challenge. In your next moment of significant pressure, pause. Ask yourself not only what is the best outcome, but also what example do I wish to set right now? What story will this moment tell about my character? Act accordingly. The synthesis. 10 codes. They are not a checklist to be completed, but a circle to be entered, a system to be inhabited. This is not about dressing up as an ancient warrior. It is about excavating the timeless, universal principles of human resilience and building your modern, complex life upon that unshakable foundation. Your mind is your Sparta. From this day forward, see it that way. You are its sole guardian, its lawgiver, its commander. Guard its gates fiercely with the shield of perception. Strengthen its walls, stone by stone, with the discipline of action. Let every obstacle that strikes those walls be the hammer that fortifies them further. Find your power in the inner stillness of the citadel's core. Know your freedom by occasionally choosing to deny its comfort. And remember, you do not stand guard alone. The strength of your bond with fellow sentinels doubles your watch. You will not wake up tomorrow transformed. A Spartan was not made in a day or a year. He was made in the 10,000 moments of choice. To get up when tired, to stand firm when afraid, to be silent when provoked, to advance when it would be easier to flee. He was forged in the daily, humble, relentless commitment to the code. So the forge is now lit. The hammer is in your hand. The training does not begin when you feel motivated, when conditions are perfect, when you have read one more book. It begins in the next decision you make. It begins now. Choose one code, just one, the one that resonated most or the one that frightened you the most. Carry it with you for the next 7 days. Let it be the lens through which you see your world, the rule by which you judge your actions. Forge that single piece of your armor. Then return here and choose another. This is the path. This is the way of the mental Spartan. The war for your potential is won not in a single glorious charge, but in the daily, disciplined defense of your own inner ground. Train your mind, conquer yourself. The phalanx awaits.